Initially, when I first saw this, I was like, this is a overprotective mom who's making sure the scallywags isn't trying to take advantage of her son.
The overprotective, I don't know. She overprotective.
Sometimes it is coming from a good place, and there is a certain level of investment.
She's already failed. If he's 25 and he can't handle these situations with these women, let the women have him.
Like, why are you everywhere with your son? Take the titty out his mouth.
You know who else is so invested in her man? I mean, her son. You know what I mean? Jayden Daniels' mom. You know what I mean? You want to talk about being really invested? I mean, listen, there are some people who feel like, yo, she's just an overprotective mom holding it down by now. I don't know if you guys saw, there was a clip where there's a party that he was at just doing his thing, and Mom Dukes was in the background. The brother's 25. Mom Dukes is in the background. You know what I mean? I think he was like dating, I forgot her name, but she was kind of in the foreground, all up in his business. Apparently, she's trying to make sure ain't no hoochies trying to just jump on this gravy train. But some people are questioning whether or not she is too invested, even for a mom of a 25-year-old. I've heard, what's the term again you guys mentioned in pre-pro? Mother-husband?
Son husband.
Son husband.
Yes. So is this, I mean, I know it's a thing, so maybe we can talk a little bit about if we think there is much ado about nothing here, but also expand the conversation so we can talk about those women who are marrying their sons. What are you guys' thoughts on this conversation?
I would love to jump on this one initially because initially when I first saw this, I was like, this is a overprotective mom who's making sure the scallywags isn't trying to take advantage of her son. She's making sure that she's there for him, providing him guidance and everything. But then I saw the clip where she was sitting between him and a girl, and he was talking over the girl. They were talking over the mother to the girl, and likewise. And then I saw another clip where she was dancing in the background like they're in a club. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on a second. This ain't right. So now I'm starting to feel like maybe she's blocking her son from actually being in a relationship. And this is taking that whole mama's boy to a whole new term, because the mama's boy actually was part of that husband-son or son-husband relationship dynamic, where in reality, because he didn't have, and I don't even know if the father was in the home or not. So please let me know if that's the case. But oftentimes when we see this, and especially in the Black community, it's because there is a absentee of the father in the home. And so they start treating their children, and particularly their son, as if that's their husband, and making him the man of the house, and putting these expectations on him to put her first. And so, and it's part of that, they start blocking other women, actually get jealous of other women who approach their son, because they're already thinking that woman is going to replace them in their son's life. And so initially I was like, oh, she's just being overprotective. But then when she was popping up, they said she pop up in clubs, she pop up at parties with them. And I'm like, it's not that much over. Where your man at, woman? Like, what
Facts.
are you doing? Like, why are you everywhere with your son? He 25. Let that man grow up. Take the titty out his mouth. And so it was like, I don't understand this, right? Exactly. Like, put him on a bottle. Let's get some weaning going on here. And I'm just confused by the whole dynamic when I see this. And I understand where it originated, but we're not going to talk about the origin story of how this mother, husband, son situation came about, because it goes back to a time where women, particularly, well, I'll just talk about it anyways. Slave women felt like they had to protect their sons, and so they were overprotected from there, and it just continued on. It's like a whole bunch of different dynamics in place, but we don't have time to talk about all that. So I'm just going to say, get you a man, get out your son's life like that. You can still be there, but you don't have to be literally blocking, because at this point you are cock blocking. Now I'm pretty sure he's still getting some on the side or wherever the hell he getting some at, but you are interfering with his ability to have relationships with other women, because you're right there in the center. And nothing say I'm in the center like a picture where he's literally sitting on this side and the woman sitting on that side and you sitting right in the middle.
Well, if he had wanted his mama to move over, he should have asked her to. And the fact that he didn't say, maybe he wasn't really into that girl. Maybe he just was looking over like, maybe. And his mom was like, girl, her breath stank. Or maybe his mama had the inside read. His mom is his wingman. Okay? She's his wingman. When she sees the right woman, she'll tap him on the shoulder. She'll be like, baby, that one right there. They'll pull him. Who knows what they'll all do together? You know what I'm saying? That's his wing woman, man. y'all misinterpreting the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because either that, or I think she's messing up as a parent, right? Because as a parent, you're supposed to prepare your child for life without you, right? The ultimate goal is to build them up so they don't need you. They can do what they got to do, right? For when you're gone, because we all leave off the scene at some point. So if she got to be next to him all the time for supervisory purposes and she messing up, because at 25, you should have raised this man to go in and be able to read the room. If he can't read the room, let's put him on some games so he can do that, right? So that's my thing with it. Overprotective, I don't know if she's overprotective. I would hope she's there for the right reasons. But I would say if she is there, because she doesn't think this man can discern, you know what I'm saying, the right from the wrong when he's out, then, you know what I'm saying, I would say, ma'am, I think, hopefully your intensive training is done by the time he really hits his streak and stardom, because otherwise this is not going to end well. Yeah, that's what I got to say about it. But anyway, maybe there's nothing nasty going on. Y'all so nasty all the time.
Right.
I mean, she, they say your kid. She may know her son. She may know he's got a disposition for thoughts and loose women, and I gotta protect him. But to your point as well, and I think that because I go in on the son husband. She's already failed. If he's 25 and he can't handle these situations with these women, just let the women have him. She's already failed. It's already a wrap. The minute she's out of his sight, he is going to dive face first, no pun intended, into the thoughts. It's already a wrap. So she's just delaying the inevitable at this point. I get how the son husband phenomenon happens, but at some point it just gets to be really creepy and really weird. And me being at the after hours spot with moms, that's hey, love moms. We're not doing that. I'm not passing blunts in front of mom. We're not, knocking back, mixed drinks and shit. That's fucking weird. So I think she should just let the thoughts have him. It's already over. It's a wrap.
Let the thoughts have them. Are you kidding me, bruh? Like, come on,
It's
man.
over. She's already felt. He can't handle it.
Let the thoughts have him. Come on, bro. She is way too invested. Family, way too invested. You know
She
what I'm
should have
saying?
fixed
Like,
that problem 6 years ago.
what are you talking about? Which
He's 25. He's a grown man. He can buy firearms.
No, you're saying, hey, let the thoughts have them. That's not going to be a message that's going to resonate with a mom who's concerned about thoughts after she's spent countless of hours and money and time investing to put him in a position to be as successful just for some random fucking thought to come through and then fucking steal him away, isolate her, and get her out the picture. Now she's barely seeing her grandkids, barely being involved in her son's life after she low-key has had a big part of making him who he is today, right? Let's be honest, right? Most of us as men in this conversation right now, if we were looking at our son behaving like that, we'd be like, what the fuck did I do wrong? Most of us would not be okay with that behavior because we understand part of our job, low key, when we're in the home is to say, nah, bitch, this is my woman, okay? She's my woman first and she's your mom second, okay? Let's have some little compartmentalization real quick. But apparently that didn't happen here. So one can only surmise that maybe like for her, she poured in all this investment into him, understandably so as a parent, right? Before we get into the mom-son thing, what happened with the guy, I forgot his name, he plays for Indiana. His pops is out there on the fucking court talking shit to Giannis or whatever, right? And so there are some parents who are living vicariously. There are some parents who are so overinvested. There are some parents who are so proud. There are some parents who are just doing way too fucking much, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. So I think that's part of the conversation, but also part of the conversation is whether or not in our community we have women because of emotional reasons, because maybe certain men are not in their lives, or because they're just not really able to deal with or kind of go through what they're going through emotionally or whatnot, are sitting there putting too much on these kids. And so these kids are emotionally kind of trapped low key. Like I get he may just want to go outside, but it's also hard for him to tell moms like, yo, moms, I just want to do my thing. And honestly, what I wanted to kind of end with was really this being a cautionary tale, because a lot of times, to your point, Delvin, at some point, maybe homie decides, you know what, I'm grown now. I could do what I want to do. And so moms may find themselves being isolated. The worst case scenario coming into fruition, all because they were concerned that something was going to happen. But now they're able to kind of like just, I guess they're trying to avoid it, but by like doing what they're doing, they're kind of making it happen at the same time, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
So, so it's a thing. And there's a lot of people going, I think there are some parents who are not, like kids who are not rich and famous or athletes or whatever, who have moms. We call it the mama's boy scenario, or sometimes that's a situation. But this whole husband-son thing can certainly be a problem. And I feel like we're kind of seeing it here. But we want to wish the young man the best, and hopefully he can find some space for himself and the hoes and the thoughts that he want to get with.
Right,
I'm
because
pretty
you think at
sure.
some point she just if it really is that issue, she's just delaying the inevitable, right? If he you can't protect him forever, you know?
Yeah,
I think
I was just
yeah,
joking a little bit earlier, right? Because
yeah.
I agree with you in terms of this shouldn't be a thing, but I do understand that sometimes it is coming from a good place, and there is a certain level of investment that a person makes, and there are some legitimate reasons for them to be behaving that way, but there's also some other ones where they shouldn't be. But go ahead, S&M.
Yeah, so I was just going to add that in the end, I hope that it's just her being an overprotective mother because at the end of the day, she was trying to avoid the Dreas, right? The women who prey on these young bucks while they're starting off in their careers and so forth. And I just think it's time for her to somewhat let the training wheels off, unless she's actually like his money manager and so forth like that. And then in which case, she just needs to guide him because ultimately, as a parent, she do need to let him go. You know how the little birds fly out the nest and so forth?
Yeah.
You know, she need to let the bird fly, and at some point, that's what's gonna happen.
She is his agent, though. I believe she became an NBA agent, so she is intertwined in his business, but go ahead.
Okay, no, no, that's what I'm saying. So it's excellent if she's his agent because then she operating it's her job to be protective. It's just like I said, the whole clubbing thing is a little weird and creepy to me. But hey, it is what it is. If it works for them, I love it. And at the end of the day, I'm happy to see that he's a respectful son.